not just a house, you know, it's a home, and it's part of the neighborhood and of course part of the community. And you want to build stuff that they'll take pride in.
Well, that's where they're making their memories.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where they're raising their families.
You know, without the bank getting us to that next step, we can't do it.
It's nice to be able to call someone at the bank and say, hey, you've worked with us for all these years. This is what we're thinking about doing. Can we pull the trigger on this today? Oh my stars. It is just so much easier to bank with First Community.
Hey, my name is Nigel Wright with COE Films, and I'm here to talk about my best friend, my brother, Kevin Miller. For y'all don't know, Kevin and I, we go back a long ways. I've been knowing Kevin for over 30 plus years. We grew up from a small town called West Helena, Arkansas. It's back east. And man, Kevin and I, we used to see each other as kids, even coming all the way on up now, you know, to we're grown-ups. And Kevin and I, we just been locked in, you know what I mean? We recently had got closer, starting back in 2013, 14, once we migrated up this way. Well, he had migrated up this way. I had a chance to kind of, you know, link with him a little bit more because I was coaching basketball, AAU basketball, and his son was playing, my son was playing, and I was just letting them know, look, man, you know, Arkansas is one of these places that, you know, we have sports and we have basketball, football, but a lot of this is underrated. You know, it's just flying under the radar. So, you know, Kevin, he was one of them guys, had a big heart. If you knew Kevin, I promise you, you can't say a bad thing about Kev. Kev was always willing to help, willing to do things, willing to cut off your water, so to speak, because he was a water guy, you know, and he knew his stuff with water. So he really was one of those guys that can liven up any room, you know. He could also just be one of them guys that can lift your spirits, you know. If you going through something, you talk to Kevin, I guarantee you by the time you get off the phone with him, you won't even be thinking about it, you know what I mean? He was just one of those people. So, you know, just to fast forward, Kevin was a diamond, y'all. They said Arkansas has diamonds. Kevin was one of those diamonds. The man was a rare diamond. I promise you, you'll never find another like him. You'll never find another like him. You know, Kevin always put people before him. You know, you would never know it because he always was behind the scenes on a lot of things, or you would never know that Kevin had something to do with it, you know. So just to fast forward, it was a time that I can remember very well. It was back in 2020, and Kevin and I, we was talking about doing an open run, and I was telling him, like, man, I done went to Atlanta, Texas, I done went to Florida, I done went to these other states that the exposure was crazy. You know what I mean? That they doing a lot of stuff for the kids to where they getting exposure. And I was telling Kev back then, like, man, it has to be something that we can do to try to help, you know, bridge the gap. And from that point on, and this was during COVID, y'all, we started an open run, and we did it at the Deaf and Blind. We invited over 30 players, 30 plus players, and we invited coaches in there, and it was a success. We saw that, hey man, we on to something right here. So we did another open run, and that turned out to be an amazing moment. From there, it sparked the interest. It started sparking things. And from there, we just kind of kept the momentum rolling. We went from that to just, if you saw Kevin, you saw me. We was going to different events, trying to highlight different players. We interacting with different media outlets throughout the state. And shout out to all the media outlets that's out there. Man, y'all do an amazing job helping keeping Kevin memory alive. Shout out to y'all. But we was talking about how could we help bridge the gap. We talking about the matchup showcase. I mean, we was bouncing ideas off each other, trying to put some things in play. I mean, we always was on the phone trying to see what was our next play, what was our next play. And from there, I saw the spark, interest. Kevin had mentioned something about the media day. He was like, man, I saw something, about the media day in a different state. He was like, what you think about that? I said, man, I think that'd be awesome. And from there, it kick-started. And we was rolling. The first media day turned out to be a success. It was a success in our own right because of what we wanted it to be. And, linking up with Kyle, Eric Taylor, Chris with Arkansas Pro Sports, and now Natural State Sports, this thing has become bigger, and I think it's becoming better every year. I'm looking forward to this media day that's coming up. You have over like 70 teams coming in that I feel like this year is going to set the precedent for the next years. You know what I mean? So, man, just remember my guy Kev every day is just always bring a smile to my face. Just talking with his family and with his wife and kids, it always brings joy to just remember him. And I think this Big Miller Media Days, the Matchup Showcase, the football media days, keeping his name alive. I think it's something that will always help everyone to remember what Kev is all about. Shout out to all the media guys, the sponsors, everybody that's helped putting this Big Miller Media Day together. Salute.
All right, we're back with day 3, the Big Miller High School Basketball Media Days. First up, we have Coach Jay Cook and the Cabot Lady Panthers. Coach Cook, if you don't mind, introduce yourself. Give us a brief recap of last season and introduce the 2 ladies you brought with you.
Okay. Again, my name's Jay Cook. I'm the girls basketball coach at Cabot High School. To my right, I have one of our seniors, Elise Boyd. To my left, Ashlyn Horn, another senior. We also have another senior, Kate Mathis, that wasn't able to join us today. She's in St. Louis at a band competition. But as far as last season goes, as far as a recap, the only thing I keep coming back to is how much of a learning experience it was for our kids. Won 11 games, fought tooth and nail for every one of them. Went 4-8 in the league and slipped into the state tournament as a six seed out of the Central, and was fortunate enough to go play Fayetteville first round, and got thumped pretty good. But what we saw immediately after that game, when we got in the locker room and kind of caught our breath, was looking at each other and realizing that all but one of these guys were going to be back with us next year. So as we learned a lot of lessons over the course of the year, we had a lot of young kids that hadn't played a lot of varsity basketball, that played a ton of varsity basketball during the season, literally didn't know what they were getting into as young players. We looked at each other right after that game and basically said, now we know. Going into the next year, we've got everybody coming back. There's not going to be any surprises as far as what's expected, the level of play, the physicality, the speed, the athleticism that we have to play against each night.
We said that right before you were going on, and a lot of teams out there that would be happy with 11 wins, but when you set the standard that you have, you're definitely not happy with the 11 wins. But just like you were saying, that was a really, really young team. You had a year before, you'd lost a lot of kids at graduation. You had kids that quit to play other sports. So your team was depleted to a very, very young roster. How do you, as a coach, take that experience of I've got all of these really young kids who have little to no varsity basketball experience? How do you keep them, positive when you're marching through a season like that? Again, a lot of people would be perfectly fine with 11, 12, 13 wins, but that's not the standard that you had set there at Cabot.
No, following two, state semifinal appearances, yeah, but at the same time, we knew what was coming to a certain degree. As far as keeping it positive, it's hard. I'm not going to lie, it was hard. And we had these team discussions, regularly about, sometimes you learn more about yourself when it gets hard than when you win 23. When you're fighting and clawing, scrapping just to stay competitive during the season, and things get hard, you really find out who you are as a person, who you are as a group. And I think maybe we grew individually and as a team probably more last year than we would have if we'd have, won 20 again. Which hopefully, again, with the core group of that bunch coming back, hopefully that serves us well going forward.
We'll talk about the two seniors that you brought with you. I got to think you're probably a little more excited about this team with having three strong seniors. Introduce the two ladies you brought with you and a little bit about them.
Elise Boyd and Ashlyn Horn, they are our heart and soul. After a year like last year, they've seen the whole spectrum. They were on that team that went to the state semis that had Conway on the ropes a little bit. We struggled a little bit last year, and they've seen both sides of that, how it can be on both ends, and they're still here. And they're still standing, and they are the most high character, hardest working, sincere people, and along with Kate, I think they're all three made out of the same mold. They are high level kids. Whatever they end up doing after this, they're going to be really successful at. And as far as them as players, we're really going to look for Elise to shoot the ball for us from the perimeter. She's a really good outside shooter, getting better and better at all phases of her game, defensively, and as far as playmaking goes. Ashlyn is the same way. She's really gotten to the point where she gets her feet set. She can put the ball in the basket. She can become a more physical guard when she needs to be, and as far as defensively and offensively. So we're going to lean on them more than anything as far as leadership. They're becoming more and more vocal as they get older, more and more confident, and our young kids look up to them simply because of the kind of kids they are, and it's made our locker room a lot more cohesive and positive, and make us for a really good culture.
Coach, I heard you say that you're going to be looking for at least to shoot more threes, so it made me think about your playing style. So how would you, considering that your team coming back, how would that playing style look this season? Is it more up-tempo, or would you slow it down? How's it looking?
We're always going to try to run, but I think we try to run intelligently. We're not going to run to shoot bad shots. We'll pick and choose. We'll train ourselves to be able to run, but if we can't, we won't. More than anything, I think we're going to stay with what we've always tried to do, especially with the shot clock implemented. Running a lot of set plays, I think, is, out. I think, we're going to play with principles and understanding of what we're trying to do individually, as far as spacing and that kind of thing. But, we try to keep it pretty simple. We try to engage two players and keep the ball moving and take, as many wide open threes or uncontested layups as we can, like a lot of people. We'll run some entries to get to that point, but at the end of the day, the game has gone to, you better be able to be a basketball player, instead of running plays, and that's what we're training to do.
So this is to the ladies. Talk about, your off season, summertime, preseason coming up, and just how ready that you are, to get geared for this season.
So for our off season, we've been lifting a lot. We've been in the weight room every morning or 3 times a week at 5 a.m. for the past, how many weeks? It's been 7 weeks?
Yeah, 7.
7 weeks, and so since school started. And then in the summer, we were in the weight room. So I think that has a lot to do with like how our playing style is going to be. We're working on getting stronger and just making sure that we're putting in the hours to, have the season that we want. Because I think that last year we were a little on the weaker side, and I think that being in the weight room has really made our team a lot stronger, and just in our playing style, we've become a lot more confident with the ball, being able to actually, handle the pressure.
I would agree with that. I also think that in practice we've been doing a lot more working on like being physical, and I think that helps a lot because sometimes just being able to like get the ball will help us a lot, and the weight room also plays in that because we're getting stronger.
Elise, I've seen you in the gym over the past year and a half, a ton, working on your game and getting better. Coach Cook once told me he would love to have 10 of you, as a matter of fact. So, he said, he's got 3 great senior leaders, and I just kind of like to hear from both of you guys about how your role has changed, right? You were on that amazing team that made a run when you were sophomores, and then last year you guys were really learning, and now you're seniors, you're back. The expectations have risen a little bit, but just talk about becoming a leader not only on the court but also off the court.
I feel like for me, I wasn't always a leader before this year because I'm not a super loud person. Like, that's not really my natural thing. And this year I've, like, really had to, like, step up and, like, just be communicating all the time and kind of getting out of my comfort zone. But I think that's been good for me because I, like, learn how to be a leader and communicate and, like, to the younger people and help them out.
Yeah, I agree. So whenever we were sophomores, we were kind of like the people watching the leaders, so we didn't really have to say anything in practice. We didn't ever have to like make an effort to actually know what was going on because it was just so much at one time. And we had those really strong 5 seniors who just pretty much did everything for us. So we would watch them and we knew how they played, and then coming into a season that we didn't have them, it really made us, and we had 1 senior last year, so it really made us as juniors have to step up, and even more this year, to be those 5, like be like the 5 and like make sure that we're good role models, because I think that really set us up for like who we are as a team, because we've seen them, and I think that if we can be like them, then teams going forward can be successful.
Okay, yes, this right here is to the girls again. Is there a game from last season that you could think about and it was a fun game, or is a game that you're looking forward to now that's motivating you that you can't wait to get back to? Is there a game?
I got one.
You go ahead, Coach.
Well, I'd love to play Fayetteville in the first round of the state tournament again. I don't think they got the best Cabot Lady Panther team. When we go to the state tournament, we expect to represent better than we did, and I would love to fight and claw and scrap and get back to the state tournament and not only play in it but compete in it and try to advance. That last one, we'll remember that last one.
I agree with that because, like, my sophomore year, I didn't really play in the state tournament because we had 5 really good seniors, and I feel like no one really knew what to expect. Like, we didn't prepare like we should have. It was kind of far away, and I feel like now everyone just has experience, and everyone's like, we're all ready, and we all like know what it's gonna be like. So I feel like it would be a lot better.
Coach, who else are some of the girls that you're going to be leaning on this year that aren't the 2 here or the 3 seniors that you've mentioned?
I think that's the neat thing about this group is, and we keep talking about last year, but we played a lot of kids last year, a lot. And so coming back this year, now all of a sudden I think we have some depth. People like Addison Adair, who honestly we haven't seen any this fall yet because she's playing volleyball, but she got a lot of time last year, and her size and ability to shoot the ball should serve us well. My daughter, Jada Cook, got her feet really, really wet last year as a freshman, and probably wasn't ready for the roles we asked her to play, but hopefully that experience from last year will serve her well, and she'll be more productive and be able to be a good playmaker for us. Micah Madar was hurt, basically her whole sophomore year, and so didn't really get any play her sophomore year, very little, or during the spring of her entering her junior year. Basically got back on the floor in the summer last year, or last summer. So she's still kind of finding her way, but is developing into hopefully a really nice little point guard for us. Serenity Arrett, I think somebody that people are going to enjoy watching play. Plays extremely hard on both ends of the floor, to a fault. If we can keep her on the floor without her getting in foul trouble early every game, I think she'll be productive for us. People like that, I think will make big difference for us.
Coach, I was talking with a good friend of mine, Chris Dunham. His daughter, she's part of that farming system that you all have going on, and he told me that you all had took some of the younger ladies, the younger girls, and took them up to the college to visit your daughter, and let her kind of mentor the younger group coming up. Talk about, how implementing something like that is bringing up that younger group and getting them ready to go.
You talking about my daughter at UCA?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, we have 2 alumni at UCA now. Layla Reese is there now too. So, that's just a natural recruiting tool. You can put your young kids in front of people that walked in their shoes, and they can look at them and watch them, practice on a Division I floor, and look at them and go, well, she's not so unlike me. Mm-hmm. I can do this.
Yeah.
So it's really been nice to use them as an example, and
right.
And it's been fun to watch.
Coach, man, we're looking forward to seeing the Lady Panthers on the floor. Always a show when y'all come through. I appreciate you, and thanks a lot.
Thank y'all for having us.
All right, have a good one. Good luck to you. Okay, up next, we got the Cabot Panthers with head coach Troy Campbell leading the way. Coach, introduce yourself and tell us who you brought with you.
Absolutely. So I'm Coach Troy Campbell. It's my second year at Cabot, going on my second year. On my left, we'll start from the left, we have senior Brandon Wilson. Then we have senior Parker Gray, senior Andrew Thompson, and then senior Raekwon. Once again, call him Quan. Before we do get started, obviously, we want to say thank you guys so much for having us. You know, it's crazy because this thing has grown so big over these past years. We were talking, and, you know, it's been 1 day. Last year was 2, now it's 3, possibly 4 next year. And so it just goes to show how much the coaches and players and just community and fans love this media day. And so appreciate you guys having us.
Appreciate that, Coach. So just to kick it off, talk about some of your goals and expectations for this season, especially with this group here.
Absolutely. So we don't talk a little bit too much about last year. You know, like Bobby Trino, that's in the rearview mirror, really. Didn't have the best year. And so this year coming in, these goals and expectations, I think these guys know they are hungry. Our goal is to be better, and we're going to be better. These guys went through a lot last year, and so they're very hungry. Our expectations is to compete. Now, we competed last year, too. We just couldn't quite get over that hump. We were in a lot of games. We just couldn't quite do it. But the good thing is all these guys have experience now. They're coming back last year. They had 0 experience. Now they got a lot, and so they understand what it takes to kind of get there. And so our goal is to obviously be better and compete like we did last year, but win those games now.
So, Coach, you know, I've been watching you ever since you was coaching back at Bologna. Talk about that passion, man. Every time I see you coach, that passion is always coming out. Talk about that passion and how it's translating to your team.
You know, as far as my passion goes, I think it's just from a competitive standpoint. All of our coaches are just competitive, you know.
Yeah.
This is how we all are, and we all want to win. But also it kind of goes to a sense of, you know, usually your team kind of takes on kind of the role of the head coach.
Yeah.
And so I want them to have energy. You know, I always, if we make a good play, I'm clapping and giving high fives and things like that because I want them to understand, you know, I want them to have a lot of energy and celebrate. And so the passion just comes from me trying to lead them the best way I possibly can. I think if you coach with a lot of passion, I think it helps your team. But not in a degrading way or, you know, things like that, but just help them as much as possible from a head coaching standpoint, especially defensively, you know. I try to sit down in a stance with them sometimes, but, you know, then I get old and my back starts hurting, so.
And it's to the players. You know, coaches, like he just said, you know, the players take on the mentality and sometimes the role of the coach. So talk about just how, you know, Coach being as passionate as he is, talk about how, you know, embracing that and making sure y'all translate that onto the court. Start here.
I want to start with, he always says quiet gym is a losing gym. So I feel like we bring energy to practice every day, like trying to make the younger ones better and just trying to bring everybody, like, I guess, like, we all have energy, trying to make everybody better.
Oh, yeah, I'm with him. I mean, if we're quiet, we're going to win more games. I mean, no, if we're loud, we're going to win more games. So if we just step up as leaders, then I think we have a chance this year.
I felt like, especially as a senior, we got to be, you know, passionate about, especially after last year, you know. I mean, we can't have another season like that, especially if we're quiet in the gym. We're not talking, we're not communicating, we're not being a team. I mean, we can't win games if we're not doing that. So I just feel like that's really important. That's something we take very serious in practice, and he gets on to us. If we don't, we're on the line, we're running. So we know for sure to communicate and talk in practice.
Yeah, I mean, his passion feeds off to us real well. I mean, all 4 of us now, like, some of us weren't really that vocal to the younger ones, but now we're all kind of taking a vocal leadership and just trying to help each other out as much as possible.
So, you know, just to piggyback off that, I'm hearing what you're saying. So what's the difference from this team compared to last year?
I feel like this year we're playing more for each other. You know, we didn't really, like, last year I felt like we were kind of, I don't know, couldn't really explain it. But this year you can feel like a really good bond, chemistry.
Yeah.
I feel like we're playing for each other a lot more.
I feel like also, like Coach said, we're hungry. Like, I mean, after last year, that's all you can be is hungry because, I mean, that we just don't want to experience that again. And I feel like this year, I mean, last year we were all juniors, and that was our first year of ever, like, playing varsity basketball. We were all JV players our sophomore year. We had one senior that was really a standout senior, so, I mean, it was basically on our shoulders, and we didn't have that experience. But this year we're coming back with experience, and I feel like it's going to make a big difference.
Last season, that left a bitter taste in my mouth. I don't want to experience anything like that ever again. Like, it was terrible. And made me learn a lot, maybe bring more energy. Like I said, knows what it takes to win games now. So.
Yeah, just like being Parker said over there, we're hungry, we're ready. We don't want that feeling again because it was not good. We're ready to fight, and we're giving it our all this year.
So, everything I'm hearing sounds good. It sounds like you guys trending in the right way. So, your personal goals, coming into this season.
I want to do everything I can to win games. I'm a defensive player, so I can bring a lot of energy on defense. I think I can facilitate on offense, make great passes, get it to the rim, knock down shots when I need to.
I'm trying to get my teammates open. I'm here. I'm on the floor. I'm getting the send screens. I'm passing the ball. I'm just getting my teammates shots, open looks every time.
I mean, I feel like as a point guard this year, I gotta, facilitate, get people open, penetrate, kickouts, all that stuff. I mean, last year I feel like I didn't have a good shooting year, so this year I'm looking to, shoot the ball a little better and hopefully get my teammates open shots so they can get good looks and shoot the ball. But I feel like for sure shooting, because last year, I mean, if we want to win games, we got to shoot well. So I feel like that's a big part.
Definitely shooting for me, and I need to take pride in defense a little bit more this year, and also just being a leader, just a vocal leader, keeping my teammates up when we're down, just making sure we stay in it.
And Coach, this is directed to you. I'm always interested in everybody's philosophy on scheduling non-con. Some people just say, "Oh, we're going to schedule the best teams." Some people like to say we're going to schedule teams that are similar to our conference. You're 6A, so your conference is loaded every year. Yes, what's your philosophy on scheduling on your non-conference games? Does it differ year to year based upon your team, or how do you look at it?
So when I came in, obviously a year ago, a lot of those were already scheduled, and so then you also have to think about if they're already scheduled, you got to go back to them, kind of deal. And so there's some of those that I didn't really have a choice. I guess you not necessarily had a choice, but you just kind of lead with integrity. Keep your word as far as those things go. But as far as non-conference go, you want it to be competitive. We want to play teams that are going to get us prepared for conference. We want to take these guys to compete against some of the highest levels. But I also think you want to have a mix. You want to play some teams that may play your zone, even though you may not play zone in conference, just where you can kind of get a little mix of it. And so I think it's just a matter of maybe year by year, yes, but also the main part of thinking non-conference is to get you prepared for conference whenever that time comes around in January. So, yeah.
So, Coach, I hear you talk about that non-conference and getting them ready. Is your team right where you want them right now? Considering that everybody's coming in off the off season, are they where you expect them to be right now?
Yes, they absolutely are. And I was going to say this earlier is last year. Your first year is always it's tough. Mm-hmm. Regardless of whoever you are, when you're coming in and you're building not a new program, but you have new philosophies, new strategies, new things coming in, it's a little bit of a grind, you know what I mean? And so what I love about this team already is we played this summer, and there was things that, we would call out, and they already knew it. Like, they just knew the terminology, knew the strategy, knew what I meant. And so we played. We had a great summer. We were very, very competitive this summer. And so it's super nice from a head coaching standpoint to come in and have guys that have been in your system for a year. And I think that's going to translate to this year. And so super, super excited about this team. We also have another senior over there named KJ. Expect a lot of great things out of him. But then we also have another senior named Maddox. These guys went through a lot last year. But in the words of the great Coach John Wooden, good things take time. Yeah. And I think it's coming. especially this year. I think these seniors are going to be the ones, the class that really get us going. And I truly, truly believe that.
So this to the fellas. One last hurrah and one last question. Look into the cameras and tell Cabot Nation, Panther Nation, what they will expect to see when you guys take the floor.
Y'all see a lot of energy. We bring pride. I think all of us are ready to win. Don't want to have another season like that. Really don't. So.
Yeah, I don't want them coming in like we did last year. We're gonna have a lot of energy, like Quan said, and they're gonna know we're hungry and ready. They're ready to win a lot of games.
I feel like, we're just going to bring passion, obviously. Coach has been teaching us all summer. Even though there was nobody in the stands, nobody there during the summer, we were always passionate, and we were actually winning basketball games. So I feel like that's going to be a huge difference maker through the season.
I just think we're gonna leave it all on the floor. Us together, we're leaving it all out.
Coach, that's the end of this interview. We appreciate you coming down, giving us the opportunity. Good luck on the season.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Great.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
We've had enough of this nonsense.
All right, we're back with Coach Chunna Johnson and the Marion Lady Patriots. Coach, appreciate you coming over and making the trip. If you don't mind, just give a brief introduction to yourself and then introduce each of the ladies you brought with you and tell us a little bit about each one.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having us again. This time I have with me Trakiva McGee. She's a sophomore. And Jordan Wilkerson, she's a senior. Right here is Summer Morgan, junior, and we have a freshman, Cortland Brown. This is year 14 for me at Marion High School. I've enjoyed my journey thus far. I started out at West Memphis, did 12 years in West Memphis at the junior high level, and 6 years at junior high level and 6 years at the high school level as an assistant. But year 14, head coach at Marion. A little bit about Cortland. We moved Cortland up as a freshman. We need some kids with some varsity experience. Cortland has the build to play at the varsity level. She has a skill set to play at the varsity level, and we're just trying to help her acclimate her quickness and speed for the varsity level. Summer Morgan, she's a junior. She came to us last year from Nelton as a ninth. When she came from Nelton, she played ninth grade at Nelton. She came with some varsity experience as a ninth grader, so that helped us tremendously at the guard spot, especially with the speed. She already had the speed, and so that's a plus for us. We have Jordan Wilkerson. She's been with us all 3 seasons, been hurt. So she's been a little injury prone. We're just hoping and praying that this year be her first full season, healthy season this year with us. And she'll give us some leadership because she's one of those kids that sat on the sideline, but it was almost like an extension of the coaching staff because she could see some things and she can tell her teammates and tell her peers how to, correct things, and they will be a little more receptive because it came from Jordan. So we're hoping that she'll take everything that she learned from being out on the sideline, with an injury, and to come back and, like the guys were saying earlier, just be hungry, to just be able to prove a point and get a chance to showcase her skills and ability. And she's a hard worker, extremely hard worker. And we have Trakiva McGee. She comes to us from the junior high level, not very experienced, but when I tell you she has a high ceiling because she works so hard daily trying to get better. Sometimes I tell her when her passing, she's one of our stronger kids in the weight room, but sometimes she'll pass the ball like it's a balloon, like Trakiva. You are so much stronger than that. So we're just trying to build up her confidence and help her to develop into the player that we know she can become.
Coach, finished 10-4 in the conference, second in the conference. Talk about your expectations coming off a good season like that and heading back into it.
Okay, this year, it's a little different. People say we're young. We're really not young. We're just inexperienced on a varsity level. So we're just looking to, they told me on the way down, they want to make it to the state tournament. And they know in order to make the state tournament, we need to win at least 10, 11 games in conference. Mm-hmm. So we're going to work on a lot of things, especially our passing. That's one of the things that are our goals for this year, to become better passers. So when we do get in a half-court set, we can execute, to be honest, it's the correct pass. God, they can pass, but I need to deliver the correct passes. We're just going to hope and pray that they get together with this tough non-conference we have so they can be able to, when we get to conference play, we won't be, rattled or anything by anybody else's, systems.
Coach said you all were talking in the car about, making it to state. So talk about that one game, last year in your memory that you can say, you know what, I want to get back to that game, or was it whether it's good or bad?
I say the game against Verlonia, we didn't do good that game at all, and I just feel like that has, I have a chip on my shoulder for that game because we just didn't do good. It was a horrible game.
For me, I'm just excited to play on the varsity level, get the experience of playing with older and stronger people. So I'm just really excited for the season.
For me, I say game versus Greene County Tech. The game right before we went to state, we showed we had a lot of resilience that game, but we knew that game came down to execution. We executed well down the stretch, but we should have started the game out better. So.
For me, I just want to keep working hard and getting better, keep getting to know my teammates, and click on the court. Just give them a.
Coach, you said get ready for this tough non-conference to get you ready for conference. You hit conference play and just overall 5A. The girls mentioned a couple teams. You got Greene County Tech and you got Bologna and you got Mount Home and you got Farm. It's a gauntlet in the 5A. And talk about that non-conference that you scheduled. I'm always interested to hear what are different coaches' philosophies on scheduling that to get ready for conference play.
So with this group of inexperienced varsity players, we decided to run our same slate. We have Little Rock Central coming. We're going to Little Rock Central this year. We have Valonia again. They owe us a game. We're going to go to Cabot for 3 days and play there versus Cabot, East End, Lake Hamilton. We have Conway scheduled per usual. We have Bartlett. This year we picked up Little Rock Christian, and that's going to be a good one for us, a good non-conference game for us, so we can see what's on the other side of 5A. So I told our girls and I told their parents, at this point, we need to strengthen what remains. So these are the girls that's going to stay with us and stood by us, and we're going to strengthen those girls. But they have to go in with the mindset knowing that this non-conference schedule is in preparation for the Greene County Techs, for the Neltons, for the West Memphis, for Searcy, everybody, Batesville, because in Valley View, I can't leave out Valley View. Really, to be honest, everybody on our side has been, very, very strong. I feel like the 5A East girls can go and play anybody in the state and be competitive. Anybody. And we're just lucky to be on that side because it prepares us for state tournament. So that's one reason why we continue to I don't say stack our non-conference, but have our girls be challenged every single night.
So for the Lady Patriots Nations that's watching, Coach, your play style, considering that, you're lined up, switching up. Talk about your play style and how you plan on implementing it.
So we're trying to play fast because we do have the speed. It's a little chaotic at times because we're in practice the other day, and they were getting stops after stop, but they'll get a stop and then they'll turn the ball over because they're trying to play fast. We're just trying to speed them up, and now we try to slow the game down in their brain. So that's what we're working on the next few weeks. We're going to try to play with that same speed, but we want to slow it down in their brain so they can make the better decision, because that is one of our goals this year: passing, decision making, and communication. Yesterday in practice, we had a situation where we need them to communicate and talk their way out of things. And I told them my 8th grade coach is working with her 8th grade group. If you just talk your way through some things, talk your way out of some things. Because one kid was like, Coach, we had 3 girls on the team I know how to run this set. The other 2 may not. I'm like, if you have 3 girls that can run the set, you can talk your way out of it. So that's where the inexperience comes in, that we're trying to allow them to make some mistakes while we're in practice now, so they won't have those mistakes starting in November.
So to the girls, so talk about, the chemistry, that the camaraderie, the energy around practice. And Coach said, she told you all to talk through it. So how has that been, and how has that been working for you?
It's been rocky, I'm not gonna lie, but we definitely can do it if we put our minds to it and just all work together to put in the same amount of work each person is doing. We're very capable of doing it.
What Summer said, it's been very rocky. We're all just not as focused as we need to be. We need to get on the same level and just lock in at practice and do the small things right, and then we can focus on the big things later.
For me, I feel like it just take time to adapt to one another, making sure we all on the same accord each and every day. So.
Yes, to agree with my teammates, there has been times where it has worked, and it has shown that it has worked. And I feel like we should just continue to get to know each other and just continue to have chemistry, because that's what we need to have to play the game and just win. You can't have chemistry on and off the court and not be at practice and just mess up.
So to the younger ladies that's watching and that's looking up to you all, and they plan on filling your spots, talk about the difficulty of balancing life, balancing academics, balancing basketball, training. Talk about how working through that and still being able to function.
Really, it's just all about your mindset. If you know you can do it, you can do it. You just got to balance out everything. Yeah. Just figure yourself out mentally, and then once you got it mentally, you really smart enough to figure out the rest.
Okay.
Can I interject with that?
Yes.
So yesterday in practice, we were talking about just being disciplined, and that's a part of how athletics transposes all situations. Yeah. Even in your life. Yeah. So that's a good balance. If you're disciplined in athletics, you can be disciplined in your academics. You can be disciplined at home. You can be disciplined in every aspect of your life. That's why I love sports, because it teaches you so much more. And we were just discussing that yesterday, by being disciplined.
So Coach, just making sure that I don't leave out anything. Talk about just you know, your team overall and just how, you know, you putting these pressure on them, you know, that 10-4 season. Talk about just how they're accepting that.
Well, they know that, kind of like what the coach said earlier, we really can't live on last year's group, you know, because we're a totally different combination this year, a totally different team. And so what we have to do is we're working on trying to make sure that we get the small wins. You know, we're trying to develop leaders. You know, we're trying to make sure they can lead beyond sports. We're trying to make sure that we have better decision makers. And we're working on just a lot of disadvantage situations in practice, to the point where they told me, well, coach, you know, I told them run a set, and that's what I asked them to run. I said, I know that you want to make a good read. They're like, but we just trying to make it a good read. But this is not the time to make a good read. Now, I do want you to make a good read when the season starts. But we were working on something. That's why I was talking about being disciplined. Do what we actually do, and then you can expound on whatever else you need to do. Basketball, you know, the nature of basketball, it's going to change. It's not going to be exactly how we draw it up in a play or how we set up in practice. You know, everything's scoutable. So we're just trying to work on that. Plus the communication. That's a big thing. They love each other. They talk all the time. Why are you mute on the court? You know, and so we're trying to switch that up. I need for you to communicate, you know, some good things and some positive energy while we're out there, you know. So that's what we're trying to work with, so we can get our younger girls, you know, to just take on that same, you know, disposition. You know, and my girls, they do a great job with, like, the younger groups, because we, you know, because of facilities, we have a lot of kids in there with us. We may have 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, and maybe some 7th, 8th graders in there, you know. So I want them to be the leaders that they need to be, so that younger kids, I won't have a problem with them when they step into their footsteps eventually. So, yeah, so I'm working on, hopefully, the mentoring of with this group, you know, carry over into our younger group, and it'll definitely pay off for us, hopefully, in the future.
Okay, so, you know, just a fun fact, or just a fun moment right now. If you had a chance to play one-on-one with a WNBA or a collegiate player right now, who would it be?
I'll probably say maybe Paige. She's very talented and she's a cool person, so I'll probably do her.
Paige, okay. Paige Beckers.
Yes, sir.
Jordan, you go.
One-on-one.
We'll come back.
Mano, mano. You get to lock her up. You get to put that D on her.
For me, I say Olivia Miles.
Olivia Miles.
For me, I'll say Asia Wilson. Just the way she plays and, like, her style. I really.
Asia? Okay.
I say, I guess, Andrew Reese, due to height.
Okay.
Trying to get in the post a little bit.
Okay. We're going to clip these, send them to Andrew Reese.
And she said she's trying to get in the post a little bit. And, she's going to have to get in the post a little bit. These two right here, they'll probably play a little inside out for us, just because we're not very tall. We haven't been tall in about 3 years. Our younger group, that 7th, 8th, and 9th grade class, they have height. So hopefully, you know, we can keep them around and they'll get better throughout the season.
Okay, Coach. Lady Nation, Lady Patriots Nation, they watching. Tell them what they're going to get when they hit the floor.
Well, you get some energy. I think this group right here, they know that defense is going to have to be our forte. We're going to have to make sure we can, you know, muffle some things up. So you see a lot of different defensive schemes. We're going to play majority man-to-man, but we're going to try to get some run and jump in there, and we're going to try to see if we can just get through some passing lanes and, you know, and create some turnovers and deflections. So, and hopefully we can put the ball in the hole once we turn the ball over. Once we get a turnover, hopefully we can put the ball in the hole.
Okay, Lady Patriot Nation, you heard it here first. Coach putting the product on the floor. Y'all show up and show out for your team. Coach, thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having us.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, up next we have the Marion Patriots with head coach Sammy Lewis leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm good. How about y'all?
Doing great, Coach. Introduce yourself and tell us who you brought with you.
Yes, sir. Coach Lewis, this is my second year here at Marion, taking over this basketball program. To my left, starting on the end, I have Dexter Higgins, our senior guard. Next to him, we have another senior, Jackson Black. To my right, on the inside, we have senior Jalen Neal, and then on the outside, we have senior Chandler Randall. So as you can tell, I got a lot of upperclassmen this year.
Oh, yeah. Coach, man, the buzz around the city is Marion is the team to beat. Talk about, the pressures and the goals and expectations of your squad.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we try and set the goal and the standard to be the same each and every year. No matter who we have or who we're playing on the schedule, we want everything to be consistent, compete at a really high level, get these dudes playing together. It's great having a great group of seniors. Like I said, I think this year total right now we've got 8. They'll be coming back playing for us this year. So trying to keep everybody on the same page, keep everybody healthy, and then see what happens when the season gets here.
Coach, I had a chance to watch you all in the Big Miller team camp, and this team was one of the teams that everybody was talking about. Just give us an overall, of that energy that your team exudes. Give us some insight on just where that come from.
Absolutely. I think a lot of it stems from, and these dudes can tell you, it's an everyday thing for us. So when you see us play, you see us in team camp, you see the product that's on the floor, it's something that doesn't come by surprise. Mm-hmm. So we are on these dudes every day about their energy and their effort. We talked to them a lot yesterday. We try and to get different results, you have to do uncommon things. And so yesterday we practiced in the morning at 5:30. And so getting up and doing something that you don't really want to do, it's easy to, we told them yesterday, it's easy to be great at 2:30 in the afternoon, but who's really going to be good when it's 5:30, you're tired, you didn't get a lot of sleep at night? Can you still come in and produce that same energy? Can you still create those habits and cheer on your teammates even when you're not having your best day? So that kind of builds into our culture that we're trying to create, and just we want to be everyday guys.
So, Coach, I was going to ask you this question, but the more I thought about it, I thought maybe you can still answer it, but I want the players to go first.
Okay.
So you've been there. So you've been there for this is your second year, but you've been familiar with the program for a while. What is it about Marion? It doesn't matter the year, like you said, it's the culture. It's just is what it is. You can always expect Marion to have dogs. That term gets thrown around a lot, but at Marion, I feel like y'all can actually say it. What is it about Marion that allows y'all to say that?
I feel like it's the environment that we've been around. We're in one of the toughest conferences in the state of Arkansas. Every time we go out with all we got. We play as hard as we can, and we try and give the crowd a show, a game that they're going to remember.
I say, like Kobe, like keep on being slept on. Like people, like they don't come, like check us out. Like they come check the central, like guys out. So I say that Kobe, stay being slept on.
Absolutely, and I'll say from the standpoint of obviously after I took over here last year, walking into this place is just really different. From the standpoint of kind of to answer that question, is right now we have 17 guys in off-season basketball, and you don't get that at a lot of places. And we share a few football kids, and it's not like our football program is lacking for numbers over there. I mean, they've got a full roster as well. So we're just blessed with the opportunity in the area that we live in, that we have a lot of kids that love basketball and want to play basketball. And so I'm just fortunate enough to be the man in charge at the moment, trying to keep it all together.
All right, this question to all four of the players, y'all. Because I'm looking down here, I see some Carolina some Carolina dunks. I see some vintage ones, some threes, some fours. Who's got the best shoe game on the team?
Nah, for sure me though. I say it's me.
No, sir. He's not here right now, but I'd probably say it's Lehman Brown. Lehman's our fashion expert.
Yeah, I'd probably say Lehman.
Fashion expert Lehman. Coach, this team is built for speed, toughness. Will we see that this year? speeding up and down the floor, or will you take a more subtle approach of just setting up something?
We are going to try and play as fast as possible, but still play under control. I think our tempo is one of our strengths. Something that we do really well is getting up and down the floor. We talk about it a lot. If you watch us play, we'll have some moments where we become stagnant and the ball doesn't move, and our defense leads to our offense. And so the more we're in the passing lanes creating havoc, we're getting rebounds and flying down the floor in transition, the better we are. And so I'm a guy, I love to play fast, but also I want these dudes to understand, these guys that are going to play at the next level, having some poise and playing under control is like, yes, there's a time to run and gun, but also we need to slow it down and get a good possession. So trying to find the middle ground between the two, but definitely we're going to play fast, they're going to play hard, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Coach, you're one of the younger, better coaches in the state. You've been a head coach now for 2 years. What are some things you've learned maybe as a head coach that you maybe didn't expect as an assistant?
Absolutely. Number one, I'm just thank God for the opportunity to be a head coach at this age, and especially at a really good basketball program. Like I said, Dr. Fenner and the administration took a chance on me, especially not being a head coach before. And so it's been a blessing, that's for sure. As far as the challenges that I faced, I can say from being in the assistant role to being in this role, that seat is completely different. Everything falls under my responsibility. I can remember sitting there as an assistant looking at some scenarios and some problems and going, you know what, I'm glad that's not me. But now it's like all those problems, and not all problems are bad problems, but there's a lot more responsibility in this role. And I will say that's one of the things that I really enjoy about being a head coach is being able to make those decisions and figure out how to become a better problem solver and being what these guys need on a daily basis. And so I really enjoy that aspect of being the man in charge.
In y'all's area of the state, you look at Marion, especially this year more than any other year, and y'all have a target on y'all's back. How do you handle that target on your back?
Absolutely. It's something that we talk about each and every day, and we had this conversation with this group a few weeks ago, is that this group that we have right now has won nothing. The group last year was the group that went 26-7 and made it to the semifinals. But this group of 20 guys that we have on the team, they haven't won a game. And so keeping that expectation really high and understanding that it's easy to get complacent, like you said, when there is a little pub and there's some publicity, it's like, oh, man, y'all are expected to win it. But none of that means anything until you go out and do it. And so we're trying to keep that expectation each and every day on a daily basis, and just we want to stay really grounded, and then when the time comes, just making sure they're prepared to compete.
It's to the players. Coach leaning on you guys as some leaders for the team, correct? So just talk about how you're embracing that leadership role and just making sure that your guys that's up under you stay grounded. Talk about how you're doing that. I'll start with you, Jalen.
I feel like we can embrace the leadership role by how we come off and say things to like the younger guys or to your teammates, because it all matters about how you say it. Because some people can be frustrated, and they come off bad, but we really don't be meaning it in a bad way. So you just gotta learn how to talk to your guys.
Okay, yeah, that's everything. Chandler.
Like Jalen said, like just talking to him, like yeah.
Okay.
In practice, I try to push the younger guys because no one's going to take it easy in the game. So I give it all on offense and on defense. And I expect them to do the same.
Like kind of like what Jalen said, like, because sometimes, like when we're talking to our teammates, people like take it, they could take it in a bad way because like the way we saying it to them, and we can like talk to them like in a better way.
All right, this is for Jalen and Chandler. I think y'all are probably the best underrated duo in all of the state, I think. How do y'all view, or what kind of chip does that carry on y'all's shoulder, and how do y'all view y'all's duo amongst the state as a whole?
To me, I feel like me and Chan are the best duo in the state. But like Coach Lewis said, we haven't won anything. So it puts a nice chip on your shoulder to like be the best duo and actually go out there and win something. So I feel like it's a nice little thing to have.
pretty cool thing to have. I've been my dude like since 6th grade, like playing football together. He was a QB, wide receiver. He throw it to me, I'm gonna get it. But yeah, it's just like something cool to have. Yeah.
So Dexter, man, I doing the team camp, just watching, and just not even doing the team camp, doing the Barry Pure Classic, Hurricane Classic, just watching you play, man, your energy is always seem to be upbeat, and you always seem to be scrappy, man. Talk about where that comes from.
I'd say it comes from like doubt, like, cause like being the smallest, like people don't expect me to they don't expect a lot from me, cause like I'm short.
Yeah.
It just made me like want to play harder.
And
give
it
more
shows.
effort.
So talk about recruitment. Talk about recruitment, guys. Any recruitment going on?
There's a lot of recruitment going on. I have currently right now 2 officers. I have one from Ouachita Baptist and one from Shawnee. And I've been hearing a lot from other colleges, but I'm just going to keep my head down, keep playing, and see what I can get throughout the season.
Yeah, same thing that Jada said. I got two. Right now, but I got a couple schools trying to talk to me, flirting with me, stuff like that.
I have one offer from Shawnee, and I'm still talking to other colleges currently.
I got one from Williams and.
Coach, you said you got 17 players or whatever back at home. Who are some other names that that the state might know that you want to talk about?
Right, absolutely. It's funny you say that. We had this conversation on the way down here. We had some pop quiz questions, just trying to get them ready, and then I asked them some of the guys that they thought could help us win this upcoming season. And like I said, we've got about 4 or 5 underclassmen. They're juniors this year that have a chance to play. One would be Corbin Littlejohn. He played a lot for us last year in a backup point guard role. We're definitely looking for his role to expand. He's about 6'4". He's got a good handle on the ball, shoots well, can score when needed. And then we've got another junior, Carlisle Highland. We all call him Duck. And Duck is just a gamer. He's one of those kids when the lights comes on, he is ready to go. He played a little bit in the Nettleton game last year and scored about 8 points in a minute and 15 seconds. And to my credit, bad coaching that night. We played him too many quarters in the JV game, and so we didn't get to play him the rest of the night. And so after that, we kind of were real cautious about how much we played him because you never know when you may need somebody. And then we've got another senior, Jamari Bruin, that is really coming along. He's about 6'5", long, athletic, has a really high motor, takes a lot of charges, great offensive rebounder. We're looking for him to help us a little bit this year as well. And then the other junior that I would say would be Davion Bailey. A really good scorer. He's a really smart kid, understands the game, and shoots it really well. And so all programs need a kid that can knock down an open shot, and he will be our guy this year.
Coach, like Nick was saying, you got a squad, that non-conference schedule, it comes to my mind. So talk about that non-conference schedule and how you beefed it up to prepare your team for that grueling 5A.
Absolutely. This year we've got another really good non-conference slate. We try and put a lot of competition to get us ready. Like I said, for me, it's okay if our record isn't great going into January. I would rather put us through the fire early to kind of know what we need to do and make some adjustments from that standpoint, as well as I look at 2 things: who we're going to play in our conference and who we have the potential to play in the state tournament. And so trying to get ready for some of those teams and see if we can't compete at a really high level. Like I said, we've got some really good ones this year. Little Rock Christian comes to us. We go to Little Rock Central. Jonesboro comes here. We're in the Iverson over in Bartlett for 2 days. And we're actually going to the Big Dipper in Chicago for Christmas. So that'll be a really historic tournament. I think it's been going on 53 years now. So really excited for the opportunity. Like I said, there's a lot of really good games for us to play this season. So excited to watch these guys compete.
So, yeah, Bentonville, have y'all matched up against Bentonville in the matchup showcase.
Correct.
That game has been circulating around amongst everyone. Just coming into the matchup, I want to get this from the guys. Just coming into that type of atmosphere, being ready to put on for the state. Talk about where your mindset is for that game, but also for coming into the season.
I'd say my mindset would be like go get it, 'cause like this my like last ride, so I gotta like leave it like give it my all out there.
Yeah, same thing when he said this is my last ride, and then we ain't won anything, so I would like to do the best I can to win as much as I can. So yeah, just go out there and give it all.
My mindset is focus, because I believe this group can beat any team. So when I go into games, I come in with the expectation to win.
I, like what Chan had said, like, because it's our last year, but also like coming in like every game having the same mindset, even if we don't feel like the team as good.
So, Coach, I know the Patriot Nation probably watching. Look in the camera and tell them what you're planning on bringing and what to expect from this team.
Absolutely. From this team, like I said, like y'all stated earlier, I do think these two guards to my right are two of the better guards in the state of Arkansas. And they prove that each and every night. Like I said, we're over there in the small little bubble of Northeast Arkansas that doesn't get always the pub and the credit that it deserves sometimes. But like I said, I just want everybody to know that we have guys that can play as well. I'm super excited for this season. When we step on the floor, you're going to see a lot of energy. We're going to guard tremendously well this year, hopefully, and then be able to score on the offensive end of the floor. I think we hang our hat on the defensive end, and that's great. You got to be able to stop people. At the end of the day, the team with the most points wins. So we got to be really good at also putting the basketball in the hole when the time comes. So finishing games, closing out games, and being fun to watch.
You heard it here first, everybody. Patriot Nation, get out, support these guys. Be looking to see a lot of good basketball and look to have fun. Coach, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank
Good
y'all.
luck on your season.
Thank you.
Nice.
Okay, up next we got Russellville Cyclones with head coach Greg Chenault leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How are you?
Coach, man, introduce yourself and who you brought with you.
Okay, good. So I'm Greg Chenault. This will be my third year at Russellville High School. We're excited to be here. Just real quickly before I introduce these guys, a little bit about us is, year one when I was there, we were fortunate to win 24 games, and then followed that up last year with 22 wins. And so, we feel like we've set the standard to continue on at that level, and these guys are here to help us do it. To my right here would be junior Zayden Williams. Zayden is a combo guard that averaged about 15 points a game last year. He really came on in the second half of conference. He had one 30-point game versus Harrison on the road. So he just has a unique ability to score the basketball, and just a super talented player. Fortunate to coach him. And to the right of him would be Caleb Campbell, senior 6'3" shooting guard, returning back from a junior campaign, in which both of them are all conference, by the way. And Caleb was 12 points a game, six rebounds, and he led our league in three-point field goal percentage. So Caleb is a marksman, to say the least. And then to my left is my new assistant coach, Coach Ragland. Coach Ragland is a former player at Arkansas Tech. So it's nice to have a former college player on staff, and he's a former Valley Springs Tiger. So we're excited to have everybody here today.
Coach, let's talk about that 5A West, and talk about your expectations of your team coming into. I heard you say 22 wins last year. They had you 23 on max, but 22 on the season. Talk about coming into that and your mindset, and plus the players.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, the 5A West, it's a different kind of conference. You got a lot of long road trips, a lot of really good coaches, a lot of really good players. I think as a whole, I think the 5A West was disappointed in our state's performance in the state tournament. I don't think anybody was really peaking at the right time, including us. We limped into the state tournament injured. I think the other guys from Harrison, who was upset by Catholic, and I think that Farmington would say the same thing. They just weren't playing their best at the right time of the year. So all in all, it's a really tough conference. Every Tuesday and Friday is a battle, like it is in the Southeast and the other conferences. These guys coming into this year, we lost 5 seniors from last year. Although they were major contributors, we lost 5 seniors. 2 of them went on to play junior college basketball, so we miss them, of course, but these guys have stepped up and become kind of just taking it to another level in terms of leadership and play. They're ready to carry on the tradition that we feel like that we have going here for the last 2 years and before that, and just kind of restore and return back to that kind of winning. So we got a tough conference, though. Having said that, everybody knows Farmington's loaded. That's no secret. They've already been here. And so we're going to have our hands full for sure.
Coach, you mentioned your tradition, and since you've been there, you've 22 games, over 22 games every year. You look back to maybe in between you and Coach Pennington, he was winning then. Pennington was winning. It feels like Russellville is always winning in basketball. What is it about Russellville to have that?
Yeah, I think that, first of all, Coach Pennington was there for 4 years, did a great job. I think it has a winning tradition. It's been very hard to advance past the first round in the state, whether that's matchups, whether it's just the strength of the 5A. A lot of times it just depends on who you're matched with in the first round. We've also experienced that challenge. And so for us, we want to be there, number one, and return there for the 3rd straight year for us. And then we want to advance to the 2nd round, which is no easy task. Coach Pennington, great coach before us, and now on at Bentonville. And as you know, Taylor Peter and some of those great guys. I also might add that one of our volunteer coaches this year is Trey Allen. And if you remember that name, he was one of those Russellville guys. It's one of the great players from Russellville that played at Arkansas Tech too. So getting some of those guys back and having that tradition of winning, it helps. And we're hoping just to carry that torch into a 2nd round. I hope that answers your question.
You mentioned Talon, and it's a cool story. I know it wasn't one of your guys, but talk about what that means to the maybe Russellville community to have someone in the NBA now. It's a cool story, especially the journey he took to get there.
For sure. And so Coach Pennington obviously was his high school coach, and Coach Pennington saw his athletic ability, I think, during that time. And then every game, when he went away to Tennessee Tech and then came back to play for Arkansas Tech, I was fortunate to be, Coach Ragland was one of his teammates. So I was fortunate enough to go to some of the local games there at Tech and watch his development. Then when Liberty came calling, it was actually Liberty's head coach that came into my office. They wanted to use my office for trying to lure him to Liberty. And so I got to watch that process. I've also got to watch that process this summer, his work ethic in our gym of preparing for the NBA career, and it's unmatched. And so we wish him nothing but the best. Such a great kid, developed into such a great young man and a great player. So we're excited for his future and what he can, what that says about Russellville. He'll always be proud of the fact that he came from Russellville, just like Corliss Williamson years and years ago.
So to the players, your season last year, 22 wins. Coming back into this season, talk about some of the things you have done for as your skill set to help, position yourself to achieve or go past that 22 wins.
Yeah, so just looking back over the past couple of years, there's a bunch of guys that I've grown up playing with that we just don't have this year. And so one of the challenges, me being a senior this year, is just trying to bring the guys together, get that team chemistry. And at first it's kind of just scary, rocky, turnovers because you don't know where people are out on the court. You don't have that team chemistry. But in the past month, we've really, really gotten it together in practice, and I'm really excited for what the season holds.
Yeah, with me is the leadership, getting my teammates in the right spot and making us run our stuff so we could be good for the offensive and the defensive end.
So, some personal goals for yourself. What's some of those personal goals you had, playing before the season start,
Yes, sir. One thing I've been really working on is in the weight room. I put on 15 pounds of muscle since last year, and having that strength on the glass, on the rebounds. I'm one of the bigger guys on the team this year, even though I like playing at the perimeter better. Part of my role this year is going to be rebounding, whether I like it or not. So I've been working hard in the weight room, trying to make sure I can control the post and be a threat in the paint.
Yeah, mine is my playmaking ability to get my teammates open, and the weight room. The weight room has really been big in getting strong so we can use our body.
And this question is for Coach Ragland. Coach, talk about, you played at the next level, and talk about playing at the next level and how you can bring that to this team and how you're implementing it.
Yeah. So playing at the high level in college, it really got me prepared, especially knowing every little detail that goes into it, translating it to coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really helped me be able to play with them on and off the floor, be great for examples in practice, and also just be around Shanad every day, looking at the details, and I'm very excited to get with the group more and more and continue through the season.
So, Coach, we talk about that non-conference schedule. I'm curious to see about your non-conference. Could you talk on it?
I don't know if I want to, but yeah, you're going to force me to. Yeah, I would say since I've been here, this is the toughest. Just to give you one example, we open with on the road at Bentonville West. We know they're going to be a powerhouse in 6A this year. Then when we go up to Rogers to the Arvest tournament, we were so lucky this year. We drew Nix of Missouri and another team out of Norman, Southmore, Oklahoma, I think, Southmore, Oklahoma. So we're going to get tested in the preseason. And one of our goals this year would just be to peak at the right time. For 2 years in a row, we've limped in, literally limped in. I told somebody the other day I played 21 of 28, 14 conference games times 2. I played 21 of 28 without my best players. So, and that's no excuse. So I'm hoping that preseason, that non-con schedule will really help us when it's needed the most for the 14 games after Christmas.
So I heard you say you limped in, and I'm thinking injuries plagued you. So, considering that those injuries plague you, how do you keep your team motivated through that adversity?
Great Great question. First of all, is a huge commitment of the weight room and the preventative part in practice. We've taken another step in that direction to try to prevent that from happening. As you know, sometimes you can't prevent it. But all in all, we feel like that we've put in enough work where we can hopefully prevent as much as possible. And these guys have been committed. This is the strongest team I've had since I've been here in the weight room. If you looked at bench presses and squats, I mean, it's just the strongest team I've had.
Speaking to that, I heard you say you put on 15 pounds of muscle. That's impressive. Just talk about, what have you been doing to, maintain that and just even your players to help them get stronger?
Yes, sir. One thing, Russellville, we've been blessed. We have a great booster club, and so they provide us with great opportunities to eat right, drink right, protein shakes in the locker room, protein bars after practice, before practice. Just eating right before and after practice has been huge for me, and making sure that I'm putting on all that muscle and putting on good weight and not bad weight.
Yeah, the Booster Club has really been helping us. We got protein, and we really get fed after the games and before the games.
So how excited are you guys, for the season to come up? How excited are you?
Oh man, I mean, I can't wait. I mean, it's like Christmas morning. I mean, all off season we've been competing and going head to head, but I can't wait to play on the same team as these guys at practice. I mean, this guy, I haven't played on the same team with him all off season. We've been on separate teams playing against each other for practice, so I can't wait to just see how everybody fits together and to compete in the conference. So I'm super excited.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
So, Coach, looking back on last season, I know a lot of people don't like to look back, but to me, I always like to check back and see, okay, what I did there, I don't want to do it this year. Is there a game that you can look back and say, I don't want my guys to repeat this, so we're going to take this step to make sure they're not doing it?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say a game. I would just say certain things happen within teams that you wouldn't even share publicly. And a few things happened probably last year that we've just taken great precautions this year to make sure they don't happen. And these guys have done a great job in terms of leadership to make sure those things don't happen. And we've also had the young guys really buy into their leadership. So all in all, it's more of a preventative thing than it is anything else.
Coach, I know you only brought 2 with you. Is there any other players you possibly want to highlight? Or
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. First of all, I had 2 other seniors that will be contributors. 6'4" post Isaac Guillen, also point guard senior Christian Boyce. Both of them will be contributors this year. I would like to mention juniors Zay Thomas, Andre Lasich, and Marcellus Olson. I think will all be contributors. We're waiting on Marcellus to get out of football, hopefully healthy. Okay. And then I would also like to mention 2 sophomores that I think have made immediate impact in practice and I think will be in the rotation. And that's Talon Heinzman and Caden Walton. Both of them are solid sophomores that have attacked the weight room and attacked the floor, and we're excited about what they can bring to us.
Coach, talk about, what product you plan on putting on the floor for Cyclone Nation. Russellville is one of those community that's pretty tough. Like they said, the booster clubs, they believe in you guys. Talk about the product you're putting on the floor and what to expect, what the Cyclone Nation is to expect once you all hit the floor.
Yeah, first of all, I think these guys are going to lay it down. They're going to play hard. And I think as a coach, it's one of the biggest compliments you can get from another coach. Man, your guys play hard. Yeah. When you get that takes care of so many of the other little things. And so, number one, I hope that everyone would show up knowing that they're going to see a team that's going to dive on the floor, that's going to take charge, that's going to do all the things, the small things to win. Number 2 is I want them to have a pace about them, both offensively and defensively. I want them to feel like they can play aggressively without having to worry, and be so confident in what they do. They don't have to really think. And so what they don't even realize is that we go through the preseason to make sure I make it a little bit harder on them in the preseason so they can get to that point. So then November through February, they're peaking out. And these guys have done that. They bought in, so we're excited about what they're going to do.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. Coach is looking to put a product on the floor that you all will be proud of. Thank you, Coach, for coming out. Good luck to you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you having us.
All right, we're back with Coach LaShonda Johnson and the Russellville Lady Cyclones. Coach, if you don't mind, just take a few minutes to introduce yourself and each of the ladies you brought with you and a little bit about each one.
Okay, well, I'm LaShonda Johnson. This is my third year here at Russellville as the head coach. I've brought our two seniors, Kyra White and Elizabeth Harrison. Kyra's been a part of what I've done there for 3 years. She played a lot as a sophomore, was a big player last year. Lizzie, she was also part of the team 10th grade, coming in from volleyball as a 10th grader. Unfortunately, last year she suffered an injury for majority of the year, and we took our time making sure that she was healed properly, so she really didn't get much action until the end of the season. But we've got homecoming going on at home, so it's homecoming hangout, so I just decided, I asked my seniors would they be the ones that come to represent us so we can let the other girls have a good time at the house.
I got you, and Coach, you've had some big wins, some winning seasons at Russellville. I know you took a step back last year, and it's not up to your standards. But talk about what you guys have done in the offseason to bring these guys up that have been in your program, to not only be leaders, but, preparation for this fall to get back to that winning standard that you have.
So after last season, we did take a big hit after last season. Me and my assistant, we sat down and we talked about 3 things that we were going to build into, and it was mindset, skill set, and personal return on investment with the girls. Mindset is huge, especially in girls basketball. You've got to be mentally tough and mentally prepared every single day. It's a huge time investment. It's a huge physical investment, and that standard we knew wasn't going to change regardless. And so we needed to make sure that we trained them well, mentally and physically as well, but also making sure that each girl got a personal return on the investment that they put in. And we've made sure we've done that. So we did not go to team camps. We went to 1 day of team camps. We really focused on developing in skill set, developing in the weight room. We've hired an outside speed and agility trainer. We go to yoga. We've done a lot of team building, just trying to pour back into the girls and pour into each other.
All right, that's pretty fascinating, Coach. Love to hear that. I really want to hear from the ladies, right? So sounds like this offseason was a little different than the norm, and I know you were coming off injury. But I want to hear from both of you guys. Talk about that from the end of last season through the summer, through the fall, just about how there's been a different mindset with the team, not only getting everybody in the right mindset, but you guys developing as individual leaders as well.
So I definitely feel like this offseason was so beneficial for our team in so many ways. By working on skills with each individual person, I feel like everyone grew so much in their confidence as a player, and just they grew mentally, feeling better about what they could do on the court, which overall just banded us together as a team. And so I really appreciated how they took the time to really work with each one of us so that we could come together and grow for the rest of the season.
I could piggyback off of what Lizzie was saying. I feel like we each had our individual goals, and as you grew with your goals, I could see progress in each and every person. And also being a smaller team, we all have that bond with each other. And like from the end of last year, I feel like I built a different mindset. My mindset last year, I wouldn't say it was there, but just my mindset from last year, I built a different mindset, and I've been growing and growing in the weight room and also on the court.
Coach, you talked about a personal return on investment, and we just heard about everybody had their individual goals during the offseason. Can you talk about some of those specific individual goals, whether it was developing a certain skill, or maybe gains in the weight room, or maybe basketball IQ? What did you guys concentrate on with all the individual players for individual goals?
So we took a holistic approach, and we knew the things that we needed to get better at overall was scoring, shooting, and shot selection, and confidence, because they all could do it, but they just lacked the confidence. I felt like a lot of them maybe have been put in a box of, you are this type of player, you are a point guard, you are a post player. Well, if you look at us, I'm I could probably be a post for us. Lizzie's the biggest one we got. So no, I literally just told them, you are a basketball player, and teaching each one of them that you have the responsibility of what every basketball player on this court would do, and just giving them that skill set. So we went back and we advanced it, but just ball handling, getting more confident with the ball, getting more confident going with your less dominant hand, telling them the shots to take and giving them the confidence and letting them know that these are the shots that I want you to take. Make, miss, throw it over the goal right now here in June, July, and August. We'll fix it when we come to November, but I need you to know I need you to shoot these shots. I need you to take the ball down the court. And just feeding them that confidence and letting them know that we are dependent on them, and not only that, but we believe in you to get it done.
Coach, what's your style of play this season for this group?
It's always going to be fast. There's certain things that just are not going to change. And, you know, our record doesn't show our style of play from last year, really, but I can say a lot of our opponents could still say they play hard. A lot of times we got beat bad because we were the team that you couldn't take the foot off the gas, because we were going to play hard to the end. And we may be the one, we're going to play good defense. We're going to play solid defense the entire game. We're going to switch it up a lot, and we're going to try to push the ball as quickly as we can.
So to the girls, talk about that game last season that, you know, you can look back on and you say, I'm ready for that game.
So I wasn't able to play many games last year, and so I really only got to play that last month of the season. But really, I'm just looking forward to the opportunity to get to play everybody. I feel like we have such great teams within our conference that are going to challenge us, and that we're going to be able to learn from and grow from playing them. And I'm just really looking forward to all of our teams that we're going to get to face.
I also agree. I feel like there's not a single game that I'm looking forward to. I feel like I'm looking forward to every game. I want to see what I can put into the game and see what my teammates have, how much they've grown and what they can put into each and every game this season.
So, Coach, talk about that 5A conference schedule. How have you built it up, or how have you laid it out to get your team ready?
I've never been shy from competition, but I will say 5A West is hard. And that's one thing that even in our preseason, it doesn't matter who we play against. We're still going to run into Farmington. We're still going to run into Greenwood. And we're still going to have to push our way to get to that state tournament. And that's our goal all the time. So it really doesn't matter who we match up with before, because every one of them will help us when we get to those big-time games. Our conference is hard. And like Coach said earlier, those long road trips, you know, you have to mentally prepare for those no matter who you are. And so our goal is to just try to get to the state tournament, and knowing that we've got some of the best teams in our state right here in our conference. So every day, that's who we're preparing for. And to me, if you're preparing for Farmington, Greenwood, Mount Home every single day, every other team falls in line with that too.
Speaking of preparation, are your team, are they where you want them to be right now?
Absolutely not. I'm just kidding. No. No, I mean, it's October. No, I don't. I really and truly think mentally we're getting there. We are there. It's exciting to see their individual growth. I think a lot of times you just don't know what they're prepared for. I understand what we're up against. So I'm excited to see the growth in the preseason and how we grow from game to game in preparation for that. It's always been big games in our conference towards the end. So hopefully we'll take it slow, understand each other, grow, and when it's time, come January, February, we're ready to make a mark.
So, Lady Cyclone Nation, I'm pretty sure they're going to be tuned in, watching and supporting you. So to the girls, talk about how important it is for the community, for that support, you know, every game for you guys.
Right. So we are so lucky, just like they said, to have an amazing booster club who provides so much for us. They reach out to local businesses to get shirts for every game that's home. And I mean, they just do an amazing job at supporting us and hyping us up within the community. And that is so important that we feel that support, because really having that atmosphere in the arena builds us up, and it helps us with our energy. And it really is amazing to have the support from the community.
I agree with what Lizzie said. I I feel like every home game, even if it might have been for the boys, they come see the boys. I feel like we always had a student section there, and just seeing everyone support us, and even the ones in the back, the ones that are doubting us as a team, we know what we can do and what our team has built. So I feel like the community has done a really good job with helping us.
And for us, the fan base, Coach, let them know what type of product, to expect, what type of energy, what you're bringing to the table, what they expect to see when they watch the Lady Cyclones.
Well, just like they said, ever since I've been in Russellville, the support has always been there. And a lot of times you can go places and you don't have that level of support. But that just motivates us even more to give back to our community and make sure that we put a product that matches the support that we give, that we receive from them. And so we want to be entertaining, but we want to see their growth. One thing about Russellville is they are all from Russellville. It's not a place where you get a lot of move-ins. So to have your home kids out there representing you on the court, that's a big thing. So I think that's why we get so much support as well, because they're all homegrown. So I'm excited, and I hope that the fan base continues to support us.
Okay, Coach. Well, thank you all for coming down, giving us the opportunity to interview. Good luck on your season.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys.
All right.
We've had enough of this nonsense.
Here we go.
That's nice.
Okay, up next we have Forrest City Lady Mustangs with head coach Karonica Williams leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great.
Coach, introduce yourself and who you brought with you.
All right, I am Coach Karonica Williams. I bought 3 of my sophomores and 1 senior. First up, I have Cassidy Smith. Obviously, she's a sophomore. She averaged about 15 and 15 for me last year as a freshman. I haven't seen a girl that can rebound the way she rebounds in a long time, ever since I was coaching on the college level. So that's pretty good to have that in her. Also have Jariah Palmer. Last year she probably averaged about 10 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Most games she almost had a triple-double. And so I'm excited to see what she brings to the table. She's our floor general, and she likes to push it in transition. Then we had Deja Bradley. She can also play the 1 as well. She can shoot it. Deja averaged about 10 last year, about 3 assists. Very passionate about what she does. And then we have our senior, Kylie Bailey. She's a double-double. I always call her a walking double-double, especially when she's locked in. Last year, she averaged about 10 and 10, and I'm excited to see what she do for her senior year so that we can get her off to play some college basketball.
Coach, and Forest City is another one of those programs where, the community is all about basketball. So talk about just the passion around the community and how, the Forest City Girls has sparked that interest and that drive.
All right. I think the cool thing about me being the head coach is that I'm born and raised in Forest City. And so being able to know so many parents and relatives that are connected with them as well, it's a different type of passion. I've coached a lot of different players on the college level, and so, but it's different when you're coaching people that you know. Some may be relatives as well because Forest City is so small. The community, they bag the girls and basketball program, and so if you come to our house, you better be prepared for a packed gym, a lot of yelling, a lot of rooting, and we're very passionate about trying to win in Forest City, keeping the legacy going that Coach Lofton helped build for our boys, and we're going to keep that going this year.
Coach, I feel over the past couple of years, you've had some great seasons, but you kind of started off, as the hunter, right? You start off as the hunter.
Okay.
This year, you guys seems like are start off as the hunted. Everybody knows you're good. You're top 3 or 4 in 4A across the state. Does that change your mindset at all? Starting the season as the hunted versus the hunter?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's so many teams that mentioned that they're ready to play us, and I'm excited about that. That says a lot about Forest City, bringing something positive to our community. And so we'll step up to whatever challenge, whoever wants to play us. I'm really excited about the Rumble on the Ridge this year. They've added girls to the Rumble, which is usually a boys tournament, and so we have some top teams coming in. We have Little Rock Central coming in, we have Earl coming in, and we also have West Memphis coming in. So we're trying to compete with the best and bring a lot of excitement to Forest City.
Yes, this question is to the girls. So considering that you all coming back, off the season you had, and not only that, but just being able to implement that passion coming into this season. Talk about your mindset, your goals, and how willing you are ready to play for the season.
This season, I feel like last season we did better, but good, but I feel like we could do much better. I want to make it to state. I want to win more games. I want to be just overall better than we did last year, because we could do better.
My mindset for this season is to stay positive, be consistent in the gym, and to work hard.
I'm more focused on
So good. Take your time. Go ahead.
Oh, you good?
I'm more focused on going to state, winning it all. We got like Coach said, we got a tough schedule on us, but I feel like we can handle it.
I feel like, with what she said, because our schedule is tough, so our mentality going into this season is come into play and don't just play basketball, but actually play.
So what's one of the games that's on the schedule that you're looking forward to playing? That one game.
To be honest, I don't have a one game. I'm ready to play everybody, because the schedule is real tough, and we come in the battle.
I'm not targeting any teams this year. Just want to stay focused.
Everybody on the schedule is very good, and it's going to be a battle between everybody. So we're just trying to see who wanted more.
It's nobody that I'm targeting to play, because everybody on the schedule is kind of tough, but yeah.
Coach, is there some players that you didn't bring today that you want to highlight or mention?
Oh yeah, we have a lot. I didn't say this, but we have 7. We'll have 7 sophomores this year, 1 junior, and 4 seniors. One of our seniors who's recovering from a little knee injury, but should be clear within the next week, is Avan Applewhite. She's one of my Draymond Greens. She plays hard. She's going to go after every rebound. She just wants to win. So we weren't able to bring her with us. And then we have a lot more younger ones that can go. And they're obviously coming up from the junior high and learning a lot of plays, but they're getting it. And like I said, we have one junior and then 3 more seniors that can play as well.
Coach, what's that bulletin board material? What's that word that you have plastered on the board that your team sees, or what's that message?
I talk a lot about your character. You can be the best basketball player in the world, but if your character and your attitude is not good, it won't take you far in life. I don't care how good of a player you are. Right. So I talk about that and how you just have to come out with the right mindset every day. Be able to take constructive criticism. And that's the thing that this generation struggles with, being able to hear what people are trying to say to them and be able to take that information and grow from it, because it can help you in life, not only in basketball, because at some point you're not going to be able to play basketball. So can you go into a job? Can you go into an interview and hold your head up high? Can you speak the way that you're supposed to speak in order to grow in life? So I think that's the biggest thing that these kids need to understand, that basketball won't be here forever. What can you do outside of basketball? Can you hold your head up? Can you speak to others? I tell them all the time about this story. They're probably tired of hearing it, but I got my first job on the Division I college level that I was not looking for, but I was finishing up at UCA and graduated and everything. I was about to go overseas and play, but I went and introduced myself to the new head coach that they hired, Matt Daniel, and I was just introducing myself. I didn't know that he was going to invite me to go out to eat. I think at a pizza place or something. As a college student, you want the free food. Like, yeah, sure. So I went and didn't know the whole time that he was interviewing me. And so that's how I started my first year of coaching on Division I level. So I went from playing to coaching, and I didn't know him, but I had, my character spoke for itself through UCA, and I was able to get my first gig as a college coach right out of college by introducing myself and holding my head high and all of that good stuff.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir. I
hope y'all taking notes. That's a heck of a story. So, I want to, transition from that and talk about your practice. I'm assuming that your practices are very tough. So, starting here, could you talk about, just how those practices are, the camaraderie, the intensity? Talk about it.
At practice, everybody's competing. It don't matter if we best friends. You're not finna get this ball. I'm finna go with your head like I don't know you. And we've been on the track a lot, so when it's time for state regionals, we are going to be in shape. Yeah.
When it comes to practice, like she said, everybody's competing. Whoever's on whoever's team, they want to win. Everybody want to win, really. Our defense, our offense, we good.
Like they said, we compete every practice. We be in the weight room a lot, and track too. We come and prepare for the season.
Our practices is preparing us for like our the hard and challenging teams that we play, because our practices don't be easy. And like everybody's going against each other. Like nobody's going soft on her because that's her friend. Nobody going soft on her, and like everybody just competing against each other.
Okay, ladies.
One thing about
ahead,
practice,
Coach.
we have I bring in practice guys, so they're playing against guys that are out of high school. They have to be tough. Men, they're gonna out rebound you. They're gonna push it in transition, and so that's what I prepare them with, bringing men in. So if you can be the guy, you should be able to be the girl.
All right, ladies, just a little fun with this question. Anytime I see a team come in with good shoe game, I got to point it out. I see you guys are wearing the pink and purple John Morant's. So first, whose decision was that to wear those? Because those are nice. And then number two, who has the best shoe game on the team?
First, we was going to get some Aja Wilsons, and then Coach sent these, and we just fell in love with the shoe.
Like, nah, we won't do it.
And who got the best shoe game on the team? I'd say
everybody.
me. No.
No.
Say me.
I don't know about Cassie, but I don't know what she's talking about. I have the best shoe game.
I disagree. But Coach, obviously, Coach. But I'm gonna keep it humble. Like calm and collective. I don't really care too much about shoes.
I feel like I got the best. But like, me and Cassidy is like right there. But yeah.
So here's another question. So, you know, if you had a chance to play one-on-one with a basketball player, WNBA, collegiate, which player would that be? One-on-one. Queen of the court.
I'll say Maya Moore. She might give me a couple of buckets, but it's going to be a good game.
Okay, I say Caitlin Clark because she can shoot it from far, and I can too. So you probably gonna be right there. Not right there, but like.
You're right. You stole my answer. I'm gonna say Caitlin Clark too. She shoot deep, and I feel like I can contribute. Like, she contribute too, but it's gonna be a close game. I can for sure that I can shoot too.
I honestly don't know who I would play against. Yeah, I don't know.
So the Lady Mustang Nation is watching, right? So, Coach, tell them what type of product they'll be getting, what they'll be seeing on the floor, and from the girls, tell them what type of intensity and passion they'll see when y'all hit the floor.
All right, so when we hit the floor, obviously you're gonna see us playing great defense. I was not the best defender in college, and I can honestly say that. So maybe, coming around as a coach, now it's crazy because I focus on that more than anything. So we're focusing really, really hard on defense. We've been hitting the weight room pretty hard, and like they said as well, the track. And so I like to play fast. Also, under two great head coaches from Matt Daniel and Jackie Carson. Matt, he also added in that D'Antoni ball screen offense, so learned a lot of that, and so I teach that to them as well. And then with Jackie Carson, I swear we had about 80 plays. I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. And so you'll see us running plays, pushing the ball in transition, obviously, but running plays and trying to play great defense.
This year, I think we should focus more on being a defensive team and doing the dirty work. Like, everybody don't want to get on the floor and get loose balls, but we're going to be the team that does that.
This year we have lots of shooters. Everybody can shoot. Everybody can drive. Everybody has great defense.
Defense, we work on it a lot at practice, so I feel like we can do that a lot. Shooters everywhere. Pass it, shooter. We got them.
We got like a whole bunch of people like a whole bunch of like if somebody gets subbed out, like a post player, we got another one right there. Like, it's really no like break with us technically.
Got some feelings. You're not losing anything when okay. That's what's up. Coach, appreciate you all coming out. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. Good luck to you on the season.
Thank you so much.
Okay, up next we have the Central Lady Tigers with head coach Marlon Williams leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
Good.
Coach, introduce yourself and tell us who you brought with you.
All right, I'm Marlon Williams. This is Little Rock Central Lady Tigers here. First, starting on this side, I have Zoe Webb, guard, senior guard. I also have Elise Williams, senior guard. I have Gabby Sanders, senior guard, and Alexis Montgomery, senior guard. And so these young ladies, they've been in our program for 4 years, and I'm looking forward to their opportunity to take these big roles and see where it takes us.
Coach, Lady Tigers been rolling 11-2 in conference. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Finished second in the conference. High expectations, I'm assuming. So talk about your expectations and your goals of this squad coming in.
Expectations are still the same. I mean, we want to be one of those teams that when the dust settles, we somewhere in the mix. Just we predicated on hard work, discipline, and sometimes we have to make a way out of no way, and we just use that, whatever adversity, and we try to take it and turn it into opportunity. So that's what we want our program to be about. We got a really good student culture around there at Central, and we got the guys and the girls basketball, and we trying to represent Central High best we can.
So that state run, it was amazing, man. Let's revisit that. So talk about the state game and how it motivates you coming into this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of good teams. I mean, our conference is really good. You have the North Little Rocks and the Conways and, Cabot, Bryant's. I mean, I keep naming Jonesboro. All those teams are really good. And then you have the West with Northside and the Springdale Harbor, Bentonville, all those, Fayetteville, all those teams were good. So we play a lot of those teams year in, year out. So, I mean, you got to be good. You got to be on it. And, we lost some tough games. We won some tough games. And I mean, that's just kind of part of it for us to build our team up for the playoffs. So that's kind of where we at with the playoffs. Northside put us out of the tournament last year. It was a dogfight. We played them early in the season, and it's a really good team. Coach Smith does a really good job. Obviously, that's probably an understatement. I heard his accolades yesterday, and I was just shaking my head. So, but yeah, I mean, that's what we're here for. We're about it.
Coach, I got to see you several times last year, and it seems like you could just pull some really nice players off the bench, and there just wasn't a whole lot of drop-off during your rotation. What's that bench look like, this year, and what are some of the ladies you're going to be relying on that you couldn't bring with you today?
Yes, sir. The bench, I mean, we'll have some comparable talent on the bench. These young ladies, they're stepping into bigger roles this year, so I'm looking forward to their opportunity as well. We do have we have 3 juniors, we have 2 sophomores, and 2 freshmen as well. So all those young ladies, they are definitely going to be in the game plan. So yeah, we like to play a lot of players. We like to develop our talent, and the best way to develop them is put them in games. So that's just kind of what we do.
And this is to all 4 of you ladies. What would you guys consider yourselves really well at last year? And then what deficiencies did you have last year that you worked on hard this summer, right, to get better?
Okay. I think we were really well at getting out and playing, like, in transition. And I think we did, like, our deficiencies, like, as in shooting the 3. And so we worked a lot on shooting this summer. So I think that'll be way better this season.
Some things that I loved and enjoyed is our defense last year. I feel like that was a good thing that we had. And some stuff we're working on this year is getting in shape, making sure we can push the ball, and just making sure we'll be able to shoot.
Last year, I feel like us driving to the paint was our biggest strong suit. It helped us a lot in close winning games. So, but I think this summer we've just been working on shooting, proving to people that we can be a shooting team.
I want to go along with that as well. A lot of driving to the paint. We did a really good job of that last year. And so you notice that when you start to drive in the paint, it leaves other people out open on the perimeter. So we're learning how to like kick that out. And then again, we focus on a lot of like conditioning because we play a fast-paced game. So we want to make sure we're able to keep up with all those teams.
Coach, Central is known for a lot of different things, obviously. The tradition there is the best in the state. It's just that plain and simple. Do you have any pressure living up to the expectations and stuff that the name Central carries?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we have pressure in academics. You know, we have an academic standard there. That's very, almost second to none. Athletically, we do. I mean, we have a lot of pressure there. We have great athletes in and out of Central each and every year, and it goes way back, far as we can remember. But yeah, the pressure we put on ourselves is the main thing that we worry about. I mean, we had the pressure. We got the expectations of we want to do well. We want to be one of those elite teams at the end of the year, and we're just trying to build our program to that.
And just to piggyback off that, I want to talk to the ladies. Considering that, academics, basketball, and just overall life, life challenges. Talk about navigating that and being able to, still be able to focus and be productive on the court. Talk about it.
Well, obviously, life is going to bring you a lot of challenges. So just being able to maintain that, we're student athletes, like you said. So part of our program is not only making sure that we're good on the court, but outside of the court as well. So just making sure that we're on top of grades in school, and then when we're on the court, handling business like that as well.
I mean, it's definitely hard sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to do it, but you want to. I mean, I feel like it definitely shows you, like, how much you love the game if you really keep up with it.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody got their own life problems and what they got going on off the court. So just to be able to understand that everybody has something that everybody gonna have their off days. So being able to work with each other and just making sure we're there for each other, I really think that's very important.
I just think like our team, we're family, so it's been different personal challenges, but we always had each other's back. So, and Coach does a really good job of giving us grace when we're not like always there. So I just think it just depends on our team, and we have a really good team that way.
Sound like you all have it figured out, or at least very well grounded. Great job. Talk about that leadership, Coach. I know you're depending heavily on these ladies for that leadership role. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, you looking at our leaders right here, and you can just tell by the way they're articulating themselves that they are leaders. We have some young kids that are really looking up to them, and they're in good hands. I mean, they come bring their hard hat every day. They work hard on and off the court, and you couldn't ask for anything better.
So is there a game, last year that you all can focus back on and say, you know what, that game right there, it's been just on my shoulders all year, all over the summer, and I just can't wait to get back to it. Which game is that?
It's not a specific game, but the fact that we did lose in state, like, that's where we want to be back. Okay. So, of course, that game.
Oh, yeah.
I got the same answer, really. I ain't got no game in my head that I'm ready to get back to, but I'm just ready to go back to Hot Springs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same for me. We just want to get back to where we was and grow from there.
I agree with all of them. We have a tough schedule, as we do every year, so just making sure that every year we compete the same way we compete and grow as a team. We want to get back to Hot Springs.
Coach, if you had one word to describe this team, what would it be?
Grit. We have to have grit. I mean, we have to have grit each and every day at Central. It's just one of those situations. Historical school. We got a lot of great kids there. There's a lot of hard work that's been done there every year, and we got to have that grit each and every day. We might not come in at our best every day, but we just grind through it, sir.
Coach, you and Coach Lewis are always one of the most prepared teams and prepared coaches that I know. Talk about where that level of preparedness come from.
I mean, I think,
preparation, sorry.
I appreciate you, putting me in the same sentence as Coach Lewis, because he does a great job. and you're going to get a chance to experience him and his intellect when he gets up here. But just us bouncing stuff off each other. We got the same obstacles, same adversity at our school. When it comes to practicing or whatever, we got to work together. So we get a lot of some of the same ideas. I enjoy working with him. I enjoy seeing his guys develop, and he like him with us. So yeah, we just try to do the best we can, be prepared. You have to be prepared in the conference and the competition that we play game in, game out. So if you're going to be able to compete on this level, you have to be prepared.
And I know we're getting down to it. This last question, that 6A non-conference schedule. Give us some insight quickly on that, and we can wrap it up.
Yes, sir. We got some good non-conference opponents. Forrest City was here just before us. We're playing in that Rumble on the Ridge this year, so we're looking forward to that. And and Coach, she does a great job with her team. We have Springdale Harbor this year, so we're looking forward to competing against them. We actually got to go there. We got Greenwood. I mean, any team that probably was in the state semifinals or championship, we are trying to play them, and just trying to get ourselves better and compete. And our conference as well. We're looking forward to playing all those teams in our conference because all of them are up and coming or they already established, and so I mean it's going to be a grind, game in, game out. So
iron sharpens iron now.
Yes, sir. I want to say we appreciate the opportunity for being here as well. So thank you guys for this event that y'all put on every year.
You're welcome, Coach. Thank you. Any questions? Well, okay, Coach. That concludes our interview. We appreciate you coming out and giving us the opportunity to get some insight on the Lady Tigers. Thank you, and good luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, up next we have the Central Tigers with head coach Shelby Lewis leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm doing well, man. How about you guys?
Man, doing great, Coach.
Good.
I appreciate you all for coming out.
Man, thanks for having us, man. This is top-notch event. I don't know anybody else that's doing this. Like, this is incredible. I really appreciate you guys for doing this, taking the time out your day to highlight really every corner of the state of Arkansas, man. This is fantastic. Love it. Thank you guys for having us.
Appreciate it. Coach, introduce yourself and introduce who you brought with you.
Absolutely. So I'm Shelby Lewis, head boys basketball coach here at Central. This is my second year as head coach and fifth year overall here. To my left, I've got our senior captain, Clay Blair. He is an extension of me on the floor and in practice. I would challenge anybody to if you have a guy you think's a leader, I would challenge that against Clay Blair. He has been an incredible leader for our team, both on and off the floor. I can't say enough good things about him, and so really looking forward to what he brings to our team this year. You know, he had a really good year last year, but I'm really looking forward to what he does this year as a senior. And then next to him, we've got Brandon Wright. B. Wright was a guy who, as a sophomore, was second in scoring for us, third in minutes. You know, I'm really looking forward to what he brings to us this year. Really excited about his growth and development and progression over the summer. And so looking for him to have a big year as well. To my far right, we've got Trey Aleem. He is a junior guards coming off a really good sophomore year where he led us in three-point percentage. He also was second in minutes behind Luke Moore over at UCA. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to him again. I think he's going to have a great year. And then to his left is Trey Hope. This is a young man who, you know, we had some injuries towards the end of the season. You know, B. Wright went down last 5 or 6 games. Trey Aleem went down last 5 or 6 games. And you know, Trey Hope was averaging a double-double on our freshman team, and he was kind of right there in the mix. And then, you know, when you have a couple injuries, it creates some opportunities for some guys. And he took full advantage of that as a freshman last year and played some spot minutes for us down the stretch and really helped us. You know, we went on a 5-game winning streak towards the end there, and we were really playing really good basketball. And Trey Hope was a big part of that. And so the progression that he's made over the summer has been fantastic. And, you know, we're looking forward to him having a great year as well. So.
All right, this is a question for Clay. I don't really know how else to say this or word it. At team camp, me and Nigel were talking, and we said that Clay Blair's basketball game just defines the way the city of Little Rock plays basketball. What is it about your game that you think makes us say that? And when you look back at all the legends, you know, you think of all the people that have come through Little Rock, everything that they stand for and play as, it feels like you do the same. Even though people may not look at you as like the big 5-star or whatever, you always feel like you have a chip on your shoulder. What is it about that?
A lot of great players from Little Rock or just Arkansas in general get overlooked just because, like, the state's not on the map, really. So I feel like going into every game, I just play it like it's my last. Like, I feel like it's nothing I should leave on the floor if I'm just giving it my all.
Coach, I'm going to follow up on that. You know, just playing with a chip and being at Little Rock Central and not just the history and athletics and high academic school, but I want to point out the shirts, right, that your team is wearing. Can you talk about that and talk about how you guys embrace that and then just continue on that legacy that's so important?
Sure. You know, Coach Williams and I talk all the time, and one of the cool things about working at Central is, you know, it's like you're working at a living, breathing museum. I mean, you walk through those halls, you walk in that gym, and you see those banners. It's incredible, and you know, you feel it every single day. There's a certain responsibility that we have to continue on what has happened, and again, not just on the floor, not just academically, but right, like you think about the Little Rock Nine and the progression that we've made as a country, and it started right here, and it started right at Central, and so man, it's an unbelievable legacy. It's a privilege for us to be able to compete where we compete, and we don't take it for granted every day. You know what Clay said about approaching every game like his last. He really approaches practice like it's his last practice every single day, and you know it's like, you know, like Nick was saying, man, he really embodies the spirit of what it means to play basketball here in this state, what it means to play basketball in Little Rock. So man, we cherish that every day. We don't take it for granted at all.
So this message right here for the players. Trey, starting with you, talk about, you know, your leadership role, and talk about how, you know, the ups and downs of last season has, you know, geared you up for this season.
Well, really, that's been a big emphasis for me. Like Coach Louis, like, been putting that on me, like I gotta be more, like, communicating with my teammates and being a leader. So I really been working on that, and that's really been firing me up and been giving me energy and motivation for the season.
Yeah, I've been working on being more positive for my team and like just being a leader and being more talkative on the court.
You know, definitely last year we were super young, and I feel like now we have a lot of more experience. I feel like definitely last year we were super young, and I feel like this year coming in we got more experience and better team chemistry. So I feel like we'll be like better on the court, like bonding.
Being a leader, I'm just trying to create a blueprint that falls down the line, creating longevity throughout the program to just set generations of talent that keeps coming through Central. So I just say setting a good example and being the best leader I can be.
So Brandon, I know you had an injury, and you know sometimes injury, you know, some say it's bad, but it's also going to be a good thing. Talk about how that injury has shaped your mindset coming into this season.
You know, the injury definitely hurt, missing the second half of the season last year and my whole AU season this year and the first half of the season this year. But I feel like it's only going to help me mentally. So when I come back, I can not only be mentally prepared, but physically prepared as well to come in and help my teammates.
Okay, so, you know, I know Coach always had you guys ready, and I know those practices be grueling. Talk about the practices. I always want to know the inside depth of the practices. How are they?
Coming into practice, like, you always gonna compete with everybody. Like, it's nothing given. Like, anybody can take your spot. Like, I'm fighting for my spot every day. So are these guys as well. And that's just how he instills practice and make it for us.
Every practice with high energy. We go at each other every practice. We make each other better.
You know, every practice is a dogfight. You know, we come in here and compete. And I think that's one of the good things about coming to Central is you're gonna come in and compete and get better each and every day.
Everything a competition. Like from the minute you walk in the door, like you fight for a spot. Nothing's given to you.
All right, this is for the players. Let's start down here with Trey. Clay kind of already answered, so I guess he doesn't really need to, so I guess the other three. What does it mean to be a Central Tiger? All the history, all the banners, like Coach said, players that come through before y'all. What does it mean to you?
I mean, it's really an honor. Like, it's like we have an expectation to win, and we follow that expectation. All we got to do, it's no pressure at all. You know what I'm saying? We just follow what Coach Lou tells us to do, and the blueprint that he set out for us, we're going to be fine. We just got to trust what he got in for us.
Yeah, it's a privilege. I think it's an opportunity for us to show what we can do.
It's definitely an honor and a blessing to play for Central. And like people might think it's pressure, but it's no pressure because we know we put the work in, the hours in, so we're ready for anything.
Okay, Coach, I see you brought 4 leaders with you. Is there any players you want to spread the spotlight on? Or mention?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think, you know, Brandon kind of talked about it. We were really young last year. You know, we played 6 sophomores last year, and when you go back and look at our schedule and you look at the rosters, we played against 1 freshman and we played against 4 sophomores through 30 games. And so we're still young this year, but man, we got a lot of experience. And so guys like Gavin Holman, AKA G Baby, Dalen Thomas, AKA Day Day, Shamad Cheater. We got some young guys that are going to be in the mix. Jamie Dunn Jr., MJ Witherspoon, Kingston Cavaness, Dev Modi, Chance Cox, Terrence Jones, and then we got 2 football players that gave us some great minutes down the stretch. Ray Stewart, who's lighting it up on the football field right now. He'll get back in the mix. He was a part of our run late in the season, and then Jacob Marshall. And so, you know, we feel like we got a really good group that can compete with anybody. And so I'm excited about all those guys. If I could have brought them all, I could have, because we talk all the time about how we need everybody. Everybody is going to be a part of our success, whether that's in practice or that's actually playing games. We need every single guy, and we got a lot of them. And I think, like I said, I'm really, really excited about all of their development. And you know, we got guys that are going to be able to go into a game and contribute at a high level.
Coach, I heard you speak on that injury bug and how it plagued you in that, you know, last season. So, you know, considering the the pressures, not the pressures, but the adversity that created.
Yeah.
Talk about how, you gears your team up to even, if facing something like that they have the mindset, be willing to go through it, and some of the things you have done to help prevent it.
Sure. So, my job as a coach is to manufacture adversity every day. Yeah. And so I'm looking for ways to stress them out on the court. And we have a motto, we have a way of life that we live by, and that's what?
Win anyway.
It's win anyway. We're not gonna make excuses for anything about what we don't have or what we do have. Okay. Somebody's hurt. They get on to me all the time because I don't call fouls in practice. And so when they start coming, when he looks at me for a foul, he knows what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say win anyway. How can I finish through that contact? How can I be better? And so now we're starting to get to a point where I'm starting to dial that back a little bit because I don't need nobody fouling out of a game. Yeah. But early in the season, man, that first 10, we're on practice 46 today. It's week 10. We're starting to dial that back a little bit and starting to get more into how we need to play game wise. But it's a win anyway mentality. And that's something that will take them further than basketball. Just understanding that, man, nobody's going to, I tell them all the time, hey, you think the ref's going to take it easy on you today because your girlfriend broke up with you? You ref don't care, man. Like, you got to go out, you got to find a way to win anyway. Yeah. And so that's our motto. Everything that we do embodies that. I think that will help us out in the long run because I don't think these guys are affected by adversity. Because they go through it every day. I stress them out every single day to prepare them. We want to be playing our best basketball in March, and so our schedule is loaded with adversity. And again, we try to mimic that in practice, and hopefully we're playing our best basketball in March.
Okay, last thing, Central Tiger Nation, they're watching. Let Central Tiger Nation know what type of product and what to expect as you all take the floor this season.
You want me to answer that?
Yes,
you want
sir.
To answer? Okay. There's three things, and this is, I guess this is as much coach talk as it can get. We want to play hard, we want to play fast, and we want to play together. And that's on the defensive end, and that's on the offensive end. And I'll tell you what, this group. What they've done is it doesn't even feel like we had an off season. It feels like, okay, the end of the game, whatever the last game was, 2 weeks later, we got back at it. And, everybody's back with the exception of Luke Moore. And the team's chemistry is through the roof. These guys are learning how to play the right way. And I think that's what you're going to see. You're going to see guys that are playing hard, that are playing together, that are playing fast, guys that are locked in and that are serious about winning, for sure.
Okay, Coach, man, that concludes our interview. We appreciate you all coming through. Looking forward to see more through your season, and good luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
We've had enough of this nonsense.
Okay, up next we have Marianna Trojans with head coach Vernon Wilson leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great. How you doing?
Coach, thank you all for coming. Introduce yourself and who you brought with you.
My name is Coach Vernon Wilson. Today I brought my associate head coach, Coach Ronnie Williford, about LaShawn Gamble, my senior guard, and my son and my point guard, Carlton Wilson.
Coach, talk about your goals and expectations for this group for the season.
Man, we're expecting to go as far as we can go. Finally punched that ticket last year to the state tournament. That was year 3 for me, and they got a taste of it. The next day, my janitor called me and said, "Hey man, your sophomores in the weight room. They were in there by themselves lifting." So they got a taste of it, and we're really looking forward to seeing what we can do with this group. This is going to be the first time that we'll have about 12 kids that can actually pressure the way we want to pressure. We got about maybe 8 guards that we're going to be able to rotate in and out and really play our style that we're used to playing.
Going to a little more in depth, Coach, you said this will be the first year you can really play your style that you've wanted to play. So you said you've been there.
This is year 4.
Okay, I was going to say you've been there 3 or 4 years. So year 4, you feel like you're just now getting to the point where you can really play the style you want. You said you got 8 guards that you can rotate in and out. So going into a little more detail, you say you want to pressure. So we're talking about on-ball pressure, traps, press, up and down, transition.
Everything you just said, and any other press you can think of, people are going to see it. When I was in Osceola, we were able to play 6 or 7 guards every night and rotate them in and out. At one point, we were playing 15 kids a night. Anytime you can play, in 2022, we played 15 kids in a state final game. That's unheard of. But the reason they were able to play on the big stage because we played them all year. And we prepared them. So we're going to be able really to get after it this year and get back to that old Nolan Richardson style of play.
That's what I was about to say. It sounds like, this is to the players. It sounds like your coach wants you guys to pick opposition up off when they get off the bus. That's when you're going to start guarding them. Start right down here. Just talk about how fun that is when you're playing that way and you're really getting after people.
It's pretty fun, because things get to rocking. We got a pretty small gym, so it get loud in there. And then when it get loud, that's when the dunks come. And then, when that happens, it's just a good feeling. And then, the win hopefully comes afterwards and everybody go home happy.
For me, it's fun because, with the defense, I like playing defense a lot. I like to get in people. It's just fun to me. The offense, it comes and goes, but the biggest focus I'm worried about this year is defense. We're going to have to play a lot of defense this year.
So, Coach, talk about some of those other players. You said you're deep. Who else you going to be relying on that you didn't bring today?
Well, we've got our 4-year starter, Jamari Anthony, 6'7", and holds several offers, on a college level. And we're going to depend on him a lot. We're going to depend on Sean Gamble a lot. He's a 3-year starter. My son, he'll be leading the show. We got some other kids. I've got 2 brothers that just moved in, one a freshman, one a sophomore. They'll be able to help us big time. Martavius Pirtle, Josiah Kemp. So we've got a lot of kids that we'll be able to play. It's going to be fun this year.
Coach, you finished second in the conference. Just talking about, that run and how, you made it to where you made it to, and talk about how, the pressures of it, bringing that to this team and how you plan on they responding to that, getting back to that level.
Yeah, when you win state titles, the pressure is on because every year they want you to keep winning state titles. We were fortunate in 5 years in Osceola, we won 3 state titles. And each of those 5 years, I was able to get to the state tournament. And so that was an expectation that I put on myself, to try to get these guys to the state tournament and see what happens. You know, in a tournament, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So once you get there, you feel like you can win it. You know, last year we hit some bumps. We had a decent team, but the team was not designed to play fast last year. We didn't have the personnel to play as fast as we wanted to play. Like I said, this year we have that personnel. We have that depth at the guard spot. We're just going to get after it. Like I said, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I don't allow people to put pressure on me. I put the pressure on myself. And we just do it the way we know how to do it and the way that it's been done, and it's worked. That's all I know. You know, we left a few guys home today because they didn't show up at 6 a.m. workouts this morning. And I'm not going to put you in front of a camera if you don't show up to the workout. So we're just about grit, doing things the right way, just grinding.
Speaking of that, Coach Wilford, talk about, you know, what your passion means to this team and how you're planning on implementing it and getting them up to speed to make another run.
That's a great question. Appreciate that. And when Coach called me, getting me back to Arkansas, I've known Coach for over a decade, so I know how he is. I know how he coached, recruited a lot of his guys, and for me, it's all about the kids. And as Coach said, doing things in a way that's going to translate after you finish playing high school basketball. Yeah. So the details, they'll tell you. The pace that we practice at and prepare at is just an extension of what Coach Wilson has been doing his whole career. So I'm super excited about being in Marianna. Never saw myself coming from college to high school and coaching. But I would only do it if I knew that the person that was leading the charge was about that life, like the 6 a.m. sessions and the details. So these guys have been turning it up. We got some guys that can play college, and we're looking forward to having them ready to go.
Just this for the players. Just knowing that last season turned out how it turned, has that fueled any passion for you guys to come in and be able to give that 100%, that extra 110%, you know, just to make sure that y'all peak past that moment?
Yes, sir. I say that because last year a lot of people, they didn't have faith in us, and we made it to the state tournament and made it to the second round. And like now it's just different now. We just ready. We some dogs. Everybody want to eat.
I definitely think it did, because last year, like my teammate Sean said, they didn't believe in us at all. Then we made it to the second round. And the year before that, we had a pretty good team. Lost in the first round of regionals, and I was just a freshman. So it was I ain't like losing, and now I feel like, you know, they say we down, but in my opinion, we really up. The coaches talk about it all the time, having a championship mindset, and that's pretty much where all of us are right now. We just want to win.
Is there a game you can look back on last season where you say, man, I feel like we made a turn that season? Starting with you, Coach, and I'd like to hear from the players.
Well, we you know, a lot of coaches across the state say I'm crazy because I play a college team. I play anybody. And it's not about that we think we're good enough to play anybody. It's about we know if we play better competition, higher classifications, it's going to prepare us for a deep run. And that's what happened last year. Man, we got beat. I think we lost every non-conference game, I believe it was, with the probably exception of one. I think we beat Helena. We were 20-17 last year, but we went to the state tournament. And it was probably not my best team in the last 3 years. But the second year I was there, we had a team that I knew we could have won it all. We lost by one at the buzzer to EPC. They won it all. Mm-hmm. And we had just beat EPC that season.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, like they said, man, the one game, what really turned us around is after we came out of the Rumble in Forrest City. We lost all 3 games in the Rumble to bigger schools. But what it did, it prepared them mentally and showed them that they needed to put some more work in. So that's when our season took off right there after Thanksgiving. Yes, sir.
Same thing here. Yeah.
You know, I really agree with him with the Rumble. For me, it was Forest City because I got hurt after that game. I couldn't play the last game against Hall, but for Forest City, that's what it was for me. I had a pretty good game, but I also saw that, like, competition is not really easy. You know, you're going to have to fight for what you got. I was pretty much, you know, just playing. I was really one of the only 10th graders playing. And playing against those bigger guys, I saw I had to get stronger and better. So I've been putting in some work trying to get there.
I say the first round in district, we was down by like 20 at half to Kilp, and we beat Kilp. Blue kept out about 3 years in a row, and just for that, I just seen that we had to just pick it up. I knew coming in the state, ain't nobody finna be playing with us. So like, we ended up winning the game though, but that was the turning point. I knew like we gotta be serious now.
Coach, Trojan Nation watching, and I know you said that, you know, the high expectations. Let's talk about and tell the Trojan Nation just what type of team that they'll be expecting to see each and every day on the court.
Well, we have some of the greatest fans in the state, man. They're going to pack that gym out. Like my son said, we have a small, old school gym. And I like big arenas, but you get those big arenas and they don't fill up, that noise level is not like you're used to. So when we get to forcing 5-6 turnovers in a row and dunking it and hanging on the rim and they going crazy, hitting them, I'm jumping and flying around, and it's going to be fun, man. They love the style of play. Grandma, grandpa, auntie, they love to see their families getting on the floor, their grandson on the floor. And they know if they come, their kid is going to get a chance to play. And that's something that I'm big on. Kids come work hard every day. You need to play them. You know, don't keep kids if you're not going to play them. That's what I try to do. And, you know, if you're not good enough, if we see some potential in you, we're going to try to get you to where you can play. And we're going to bring that exciting brand of basketball. We're going to play hard, and we're going to act right off the court. They know that. That's something that I'm driving home to them every day. Do things the right way, on and off the court. Yes, sir.
Okay, there you have it. Coach, we appreciate you coming out. Thanks for the interview, and good luck to you on the season.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you.